there was a brother who'd been in jail. He came out, alhamdulillah, if I'm not mistaken.
6th of June,
Yeah,
something
6th,
like
7th,
that.
8th
That
of
was
June.
big. That was big.
So that was quite a big thing. We made a video about that. That went online.
Because he actually came with a man in part 1. And
Yeah.
he changed his life, but caught from his jahiliyyah, caught up with him. And
Exactly.
he spent a year in jail.
A year in jail, so he came out at the end of that same month. Qadrullah, another brother.
We're missing something.
What?
So obviously Ramadan ended, and we came back. We
Yeah.
carried on with the knife crime stuff. So we started picking up knives from the masjid. Kids were leaving their knives there. But then what was peak was that we done an event, and there was a brother who came to the event, and this is where things just went to a different level. And I realized like we're actually involved in this, like not in the crime, but in this da'wah. Like we're actually really deep in it now. Is that after a class,
Oh, okay.
that we had on the 99 names of Allah, and it was packed in this particular community where we're doing it. Again, packed. But one brother got caught slipping who was in the class. As soon as he left, some guys, I don't know what, man, they were trying to kill him, bro. Like, he got stabbed. Alhamdulillah. It was amazing though, because that day I saw something amazing amongst our brothers. And these are brothers again who meant, like, they've all basically from the streets, they've changed now. But the way they went and saved that brother's life with Allah's permission, like they threw themselves into danger, grabbed the brother, pulled him out, defended him. If it wasn't for Allah Azza wa Jal, after Allah, those brothers, that brother could have been dead today.
Mm.
But that day, I'm not gonna lie, I fell into like real
Depression.
not depression, but stress. Like stress was real. And then we're doing the Mad Thing in the Masjid tour in August or last week of July, and then we had that news of the other brother who went to jail, and that was that for me. I'll be honest, that was very hard. Like I was getting, like it was too much. Like when you get deeply involved into this, you start really caring for these brothers. So when you hear someone got stabbed, someone in jail, it's like how our elders always say, innit, like people, they come to you to ask you questions for consultation with all of their mad issues. They just see it as I brought you my one story, but they don't realize there's 10 people every day bringing you stories like that, and when they leave with the solution that you've given them,
You're still left with the problems.
You're still left with their pain.
Brothers and sisters, in order to do events like this that help change people's lives, you have to be very giving. You have to be very generous. Does that make sense? Giving things like food, gifts, setting up a nice environment so that people can enjoy themselves and at the same time learn. Know that the kuffar are doing this. I mean, they have free club nights to bring people in to the club for free, and then they get their money back on the alcohol, the drinks, and your Muslim women and your Muslim brothers, they are actually going into those clubs. Does that make sense? They have ladies' night for free. They bring them into the events for free. They spend money on them only to lure them in so they can what? Basically take them down the devil's path later on. So you have to understand that we're competing with that kind of nonsense. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ was so different, because he was so giving. He would basically have a valley, 2 mountains between a valley in the middle, with sheep, and then he would give them to a man just to bring his heart closer towards Islam, so that he knows that that the Prophet ﷺ is not one who's after the dunya or anything like that. Rather, the Prophet's about giving. And the man will go back to his tribe, will go back to his people, and he will say, people, aslimu. He will say, accept Islam. Muhammad is a man who gives and he doesn't fear poverty. Does that make sense? So one of the things that's closely attached to the da'wah is generosity, is giving. Does that make sense? So these events are all about giving. Like, for example, you saw the video when we took the brother from prison. Like, that was all about giving. We took him out, we took him shopping that day, got him a haircut. When we do these events, we give away little prizes, we give away food, we give away pizza, we give away snacks, we give away drinks. But they come in, they learn about Tawheed, man. Is that not invaluable? Is that not something that's invaluable? Does that make sense? So now we're about to take these events to the next level. Like, we're doing stuff that's you just have to wait to the next event on Saturday, the next Mad Thing in the Masjid event, to know the kind of levels that we're doing, inshallah ta'ala. But of course, we're being funded. And it's not even much. Imagine if you just give £5, £10, £5, £10. If you got a little bit more, you give a little bit more. People always say, "Oh, we want to give monthly." Look, we don't have a monthly kind of subscription thing, but go fund me every time you say, just drop a little £5, drop a little £10. If you're in your wallet right now, you got a little £5 to spare, you got £10 to spare, you got £50 to spare. Give it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is changing lives. You might be in the business of food, business in terms of finances. You might be in the business in terms of property business. Like, this is the business of changing people's lives with Allah's permission. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Wallahi, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا." That I swear by Allah, if one man is guided to Islam through you, خير لك من حمر النعم. It's better for you than red camels. Red camels is our equivalent of a Lamborghini. So imagine that you might give a little bit here and it might help to change someone's life. So anyway, without any further ado, what I'm trying to say is, give up your money, mate, for the sake of Allah. Click the link below, inshallah ta'ala. Have a pure intention, because if your intention is not pure, you can give £1 million, it's not worth a penny. But if your intention is sincere, you give £1, that could be a ticket to Jannah. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.